Welcome back to TechKidFX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Polygon Matic, whose current price stands at the $0.8736 mark, and here on TradingView the market is down by 1.6%. and in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot wave structures, the Fibonacci's, the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out any key chart patterns that you have information on this chart. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening here on this chart. Polygon Matic from the all-time high has been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which took us back to around the $0.32 mark, and having done so, I believe it has done the minimum that we expected it to do in its ABC corrective movement, and I'm expecting a very nice bounce to the upper side, obeying this Elliot wave structure, having a wave 5 taking us back to an all-time high in the next bull market. And before all that plays out, I expected a first wave to the upper side to play out here on this chart, and I believe that has happened here on the Polygon Matic chart, fully maximizing our target area to the upper side in the formation of that first wave. And whatever we are seeing right now is a pullback to the lower side, which is a corrective wave in the formation of this higher Elliot wave count to the lower side. And if I jump to the 4-hour chart for further analysis, here on the 4-hour chart you can see I have this Elliot wave structure in yellow, which is a fractal wave within that first wave to the upper side, where I expected that fifth wave to the upper side to fully maximize the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And if I get a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliot wave structure, you can see after making our low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, seeing the formation of the high of that first wave, then retesting the formation of a wave 2, then saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, seeing the high of that wave 3 at around the $1.05 mark. Then after seeing the high of that wave 3, saw a very nice pullback over here, retracing into our target area between the $0.81 mark and the $0.66 mark in the formation of that wave 4 to the lower side. And after seeing the formation of that wave 4, I expected a very nice impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of this wave 5 to the upper side to complete that higher Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side, and we have seen that movement to the upper side right here. And within that fifth wave to the upper side, which is an impulsive wave, I also expected to see fractal waves within that fifth wave to the upper side, and we are seeing such a structure right here in this Elliot wave structure here in blue. And within that movement to the upper side, we also saw chart patterns in formations which were supporting that movement to the upper side, like this channel which I have highlighted here in yellow, which gave us a breakout to the upper side. We even saw a retest of the upper side of the channel, then continued pushing higher, managing to break above the key area of resistance at around the $0.95 mark. We also saw another chart pattern which is a double top, and this is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, and this played out after making the high for that first wave to the upper side at around the $1.3 mark. And to get to see whether this wave 1 to the upper side has done the minimum that we expected that wave 1 to the upper side, I can zoom in on this chart and connect the Fibonacci's, that is the trend based Fibonacci, from the low of this first wave down here to the high of the first wave, then drag the fibs to the high of that wave 3, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 1 at the fib level 0.618, and that is at around the $1.2528 mark. And you can see we fully maximize that target area that I have drawn out using the trend based Fibonacci, because we went back to around the $1.3 mark before we saw this formation of this double top, which is a chart pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, and having the target area of the breakout as the height between the neckline and the tops, and that target area was giving me a minimum target area of the breakout back to around the $0.96 mark. And you can see we saw that breakout even lost the key area of support at around the $0.95 mark and made our low at around the $0.77 mark. And in this movement, this chart pattern was supporting that impulsive, that corrective movement to the lower side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2. And using the Fibonacci's, we can sketch out a minimum target area to the lower side in the formation of that higher Elliot wave count 2. And I just need to connect the Fibonacci's from the low of this first wave down here to the high of the first wave, and that gives me a minimum retracement area in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 2 between the fib level 0.5 and the fib level 0.618, and I can mark the target area here on the charts like that, which perfectly lies between the $0.8 mark and the $0.69 mark. And if I remove the Fibonacci's, you can see at some point after seeing the breakout out of this double top, we saw a breakdown to back to around the $0.77 mark, which touched the target area that I have drawn out in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 2, and so a reaction of the fib level 0.5, then so a very nice impulsive movement to the upper side, managing to break above the $0.95 mark once more. And right now we have lost the key area of support at around the $0.95 mark. We are also trading below the 20-day MA here on the 4-hour chart, and because the second wave is a corrective wave, I also expect to see an ABC corrective movement play out over here, and I believe we are seeing such a structure, having this as the wave A, then a wave B making its peak at around the $1.17 mark. Then I'm expecting the wave C to fully maximize this target area in the formation of this higher Elliott wave count 2 by maybe taking us back to around the $0.69 mark. So my primary scenario here on the Polygon Matic chart is that lower prices are coming our way, and that will be taking us to down into this target area that I have drawn out here on this chart. And for that to also play out, I expect us to lose the key area of support at around the $0.78 mark. There is a key area of support at around the $0.78 mark. So once we lose that, there is a possibility that we are making a low below the low at around the $0.77 mark. And in case that plays out, then I'll be a little bit confident that the low for that second wave is in, and I can now start sketching out an impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 3 to the upper side. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated on that. Also jumping to the 1-hour chart to see what chart patterns we have information here on the 1-hour chart. Here on the 1-hour chart, you can see in the formation of these wave C over here, we have been trading within this channel, which is a descending channel, which has given us more than 3 touch points and has been well respected. And at the moment, here on the 1-hour chart, we are seeing a breakout out of the channel to the upper side, and there is a possibility that we can see the breakout to the upper side as a short-term movement to the upper side. And once we see the breakout to the upper side, I would expect to see a retest of the upper side of the channel here on the 1-hour chart. And once the retest is a success, there is a possibility that we might have a bit of a short-term recovery to the upper side, maybe back to around the $0.95 mark, and that key area of resistance can give us resistance before we see that pullback that I'm expecting to fully maximize our target area by retracing back to around the $0.69 mark. So that is the first possible scenario that can play out over here. There is also a possibility that this might be a fake out to the upper side, and soon we might get back into the channel once more, continue trading within the channel, lose the key area of support at around the $0.78 mark, and fully maximize our target area in the formation of that higher Elliott wave count 2 to the lower side. So going back to the 4-hour chart, so that you can also take a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. On the RSI, we are trading at around the 36 mark, meaning we have a bit of room for us to continue pushing lower here on the RSI before we get into the oversold region once more, and we have massive room for us to support any movements to the upper side before we get into the overbought region. Also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD we have printed a bearish crossover here, and it seems like we are losing the selling momentum, and maybe soon we might be able to print a bullish cross. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.